solid bench. So Amanda's here, and she's used to being tortured by us. But we're going to figure out today what Amanda is doing holding the weights that's causing her to feel some stress in her hands, thumbs, wrists. So let's see her hold the weights. It's going to be a tricky one, I promise. Okay, so let me see hands, palms up. So one thing, when you hold dumbbells, if you can kind of engage through all your fingers, you might just be squeezing with your thumb a lot. So what's your pinky doing when you hold it? So spread your pinky all the way to the end of the belt.
While you're rolling it forward?
Yeah, just start like that. So grab it more on the end. So you might be working it that way a little bit more. So try and even out here. So your thumb is on the side of your fingers, so it's not on top. All fine, so even leave some room for it. You're close. Yeah, so what I'm suggesting is that she get her pinky down here. So she can almost get all 5 fingers as opposed to being in the middle with the thumb on the top. Because when your thumb is on top, you're squeezing right there. So try and get everything on the same level. And then with your wrist, you want to make sure it's not here. See that flexion? You almost want to curl forward a little bit. And that's going to help you have a little bit more stability in your wrist. So let's put the other way in your hand. So the thumb is next to the fingers, so it's not on top. You got that? You want to put that thumb on top, don't you? Yeah. There. And you might not even use your thumb as much. I mean, really make these two. And that might be part of the problem too, because then you're asking it to stay like that the whole time. And it's contracted. So maybe almost relax your thumb and make these fingers do more work. And then your wrist, if you start to feel stressed, just roll that fist in, like you're going to punch someone, half of that would be good. But a lot of people are really flexing their wrist and they're like this the whole time. And that's probably encouraging you to squeeze with that thumb. But I would let that thumb relax. All right, now just do a little overhead press for curls. Maybe curls probably a place where you would feel it more. Now see how your wrist, you want to have movement in your wrist. When you're curling, there should be, you don't want any movement in your wrist. And a lot of times I'll have to almost roll in at the bottom, but you do see people do a lot of this on curls. So just keep that fist and tucking your elbows in and try and squeeze with your pinky and your ring fingers more. Let your thumb rest a little bit. Because it would be real easy to then feel it all the way up through the forearm. We'll have to practice that some more. Does that make sense? That's the only thing I can see that you're doing.
So just rotate it forward a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Relax the thumb.
Like you're going to punch. So instead of like that, you're here. So knuckles down. And then try and get the thumb right next to the finger instead of on top squeezing. Or out here hitchhiking, holding, you know, because then it's contracted like that the whole time. That can't feel good. Okay, now we're going to do bench press. So Amanda's going to, why don't you put your head down here? How much weight? 10. And I was sharing this today in class. I don't know if people saw it, that a lot of people grab the weights like this and pull them over, which is terrible for your rotator cuffs. So I always like people to roll back and put their elbows in, keep the weights there, rather than trying to pick them up like this when you're already lying down. Okay, so you're going to go straight up with your arms. And I think we go like this, right? Okay, so nice and slow. And you do this when you're back a lot too. Okay. You do want to come together. The first rep you kind of came together. Yeah, and you do want to get that contraction in your chest coming across. So that was correct. And if you're feeling a little bit of tension in your neck, you probably could have your elbows come more towards this way, opposite of that. So here, yeah. So you might be coming too far back. You may want to just come elbows, yeah. So not as broad. And then I see that wrist doing that thing. So you do that a little bit. There you go. Now put it all together. Yeah. So see, what I did is your elbows were coming straight out, and I just brought them forward a tiny bit. Because your chest is really here. A lot of times you see women, and even their push-ups, like they're doing it, if they had a bar, it would be coming here. So you really got to work over the nipple line. Yeah. That's going to be more chest. But the first time I learned to do a push-up the right way, with my hands closer to here, we can review that with somebody, I got really sore in my chest. But before, I always felt it like in the front of my shoulders and all up here because my hands were too far forward. Okay, good. All right.